What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Actually, no, I'm gonna grab my blender bottle because whenever I put a drink down there, I never end up drinking, and I anticipate this video might be a little bit longer. Let's talk about this, the aftermath when it comes to the Xbox Rog Ally X. I'm trying to remember the last time there was a gaming product that came out that got this much hate. And I know you guys, some of you don't really believe in the Xbox tax, but let me just talk to you. I feel like I've proven that there's at least a bias against Xbox in the community as a whole. And I don't think that could be denied. But I think I've proven that plenty of times in different situations. But even PlayStation fanboys, like even PlayStation podcasters will say, like, I used to love Xbox, then Xbox did this, and that, and then that's it. I stopped messing with Xbox. And it's like, you stopped messing with Xbox forever, then it'll be like, I'll go back to Xbox once Xbox makes good games. And then, I mean, that was a blatant lie, because as soon as those games came to PlayStation, then they started playing those Xbox games. So it wasn't about the games. It was just you were hurt by Xbox, and now you hate Xbox, which, listen, is your prerogative how much you let a company hurt you. But I understand. I was pretty upset with the Xbox Series X, and I felt disrespected. I felt more disrespected spending those $500 on the Xbox Series X, the most powerful console, and I kept seeing comparisons between the PS5. I remember this when it first launched, so you're not gonna gaslight me. I'm sorry, you're just not. I remember when the PlayStation 5 first launched and the Xbox Series X first launched, seeing games that used to say optimized for the Series X or X, which is no longer a tag anymore. But you remember that? I remember Assassin's Creed Valhalla was one in particular that when it dropped, ran better on the PS5 than on the Xbox Series X. And I was like, what are we doing? I remember Call of Duty first had 120 hertz mode on the Xbox Series X. The PlayStation 5 didn't have it yet. But then once the PlayStation 5 got it, it was a real 120 hertz. Whereas on the Xbox Series X, it was hovering around 120, and the VRR would kick in, whatever, which, sure, if you got VRR, it's perfectly fine, whatever, but still the principle was like, what are we doing? I remember then when what was that weird game that was like a 2D game, side scroller. Apparently it's a really good game. Oh my god, what was that game? It was like a story game. It was an Xbox game. Maybe it was a Bethesda game. I can't remember the name of the game, but then it dropped on PlayStation, and it had a 60 frames per second mode, and everybody was like, well, you don't need a 60 frames per second mode. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, it was a mess up. Now it's patched for the Xbox. So I remember things like that over and over and over and over again. I remember the whole Hellblade 2, which is the reason why I moved to PC, coming out at 30 frames per second or whatever. And people saying, well, that game doesn't need 60 frames, this and that. Like, you don't tell me what the game needs. It's still a combat game. Like, it's gonna look better at 60. Every single game is gonna look better at 60, right? So like, I didn't understand it. And then boom, when it drops on the PS5, the PS5 version at launch, automatically gets that 60 frames per second, right? So I get it. I get being upset with Xbox, but to have hate towards a brand that bad is insane. I wake up this morning and the same thing is happening. That video that I put up yesterday saying PS5 Pro is a scam, so I bought an Xbox instead. I mean, with honey, you're going to attract bees, right? With shit, you're going to attract flies, right? So I understand when I put a title up like that, what I'm attracting. Okay, I don't understand what I'm attracting. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't enjoy the banter, the going back and forth. Especially if most people, for the most part, most people can be respectful, and nobody really saying anything too crazy, right? Like, I know I said D-Batch yesterday, called me a moron. Like, that really doesn't offend me. I don't believe he's saying it from a place of malice. The same way when sometimes I call you guys idiots. I'm not saying it from a place of malice. Trust me. call you guys stupid, I'm not saying it from a place of malice. Calling you ignorant, definitely not coming from a place of malice. You know, just words to put an oomph in the statement, if it's essentially. Now, will that offend some people? Sure, I'm sure it will. And if you're offended, again, it's not my intentions, right? But I wake up this morning and the same thing is happening, just people really upset. So now I'm not taking it as people upset at me. I'm looking at people are upset at this product, okay? I kept seeing the same arguments as how this product is overpriced. And there's somebody on my channel, maybe it was on Twitter that I saw it. I think his name is The Gaming Prophet. Maybe that's his name. Shout out to you, man. He said something on Twitter, which I've seen so many times. When it's convenient to blame Xbox for the ownership of something, people are really quick to do it. When it's time to give Xbox props for something, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. I'll give you an example. If Call of Duty sells extremely well and does great or whatever, right? And they make a great game like Black Ops 6, right? Oh, that wasn't because of Xbox or because of Microsoft. Call of Duty was going to make a good game or whatever, or that studio for that Call of Duty Black Ops was going to make a good game, okay? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 drops. Let's say that game wasn't received as well as it should have been received. Oh, this is what happens when they come under Xbox management. Hey, please tell me I'm lying. Please tell me I'm lying, right? Oh, hey, giving props for Xbox for having all types of great, studios under them and stuff like that, like Bethesda, right? No, Bethesda was already great. Microsoft just bought them, okay? Starfield then comes out, right? Before Starfield came out, everybody wanted Starfield. Even PlayStation fans wanted Starfield, right? Poor begging for Starfield, right? Starfield comes out. Magically, Starfield is horrible. Still being talked about till today. Literally the game of the generation. They called it, it's literally the game of the generation because of hate, but it's still the game of the generation, right? So Starfield comes out, gets hate. Who they blaming? They blame Xbox, right? So, oh, they can't get credit for those studios that they purchased because they didn't build them from the ground up. But you know what? If those studios don't go bad, yeah, it's Xbox's fault. They get credit for the studios doing bad. So now, fast forward to this device, the Xbox Rog Ally X. Everybody is saying, well, not everybody, right? A lot of, and again, I don't know why they're fighting it. A lot of people are saying it is not an Xbox. Okay. If it is not an Xbox, then again, shout out to Gaming Prophet. You cannot blame the price of the device on Microsoft or Xbox. That's I don't know how much more logical we can be. At this point, you would have to jump through hoops. If you say that the Xbox Rog Ally X and the Xbox Rog Ally is not an Xbox, then you cannot blame the price on Microsoft and you cannot blame the price on Xbox, because there's many computers out there that have Microsoft Windows on them, right? That are Windows PC, that the price is not controlled by Microsoft, right? HP makes laptops, Asus themselves makes desktop, right? MSI, right? Alienware, right? Lenovo, right? So all these different PC makers that make devices that run Windows, okay, that don't have the Xbox logo on it, they put a price on their machine. Who are you blaming that price of that machine on Microsoft as well? Probably not, right? Because why? That machine is not an Xbox. But the reason you feel comfortable blaming the price of the Asus Xbox Rog Ally on Xbox and Microsoft is because deep down, you know it's an Xbox. It's not an Xbox console. We've established that. Like learn how to listen. We've established that it's not a console. It's not. No, it's not going to play my console games. But that doesn't mean that it's not an Xbox. I really don't understand where this is coming from. So then, if you are going to blame the price of this machine on Xbox and and Microsoft, then you have to admit that this device is an Xbox. I don't know. I don't know where else you want to go with this. The device before the Ally X, the device that the Ally X is replacing, that the Rog Ally X is replacing, right? The one that doesn't have an Xbox branding on it, the one that is just Asus, the Asus Rog Ally X, is $899. $899. This device, which is an Xbox device, that is an upgrade from that other device, and it's competing with everything that's on the market right now, right, is $100 more. Now, if you think this is a scam, this is where I'm going to show you how much of a bias you have towards Xbox. Do you know how much the Lenovo Legion Go S, a Z1 Extreme version, what the Z1 Extreme version is? You know how much it is? If I'm not mistaken, look it up. It's around $700 to $900. Still the same price range. Do you know how much the Lenovo Legion Go 2, the big model, is? Same thing, same price. Do you know how much the MSI Claw IA is? Around the same price. These machines, all these handheld PC machines, okay, except for the Steam Deck, are pretty high up there in price. There's another one that just dropped, the GDP Win 5. That one is $2,000. All I want to know is, why is nobody mad about any of these other stuff? And this is how I know that people that hate against Xbox are, I don't even know the word, hurt, frauds, whatever. Because I guarantee you, if I turned around and I bought a GDP Win 5 for $2,000, I guarantee you that video would not explode. That tweet would not explode like my tweet of me buying the Xbox Rog Ally X for $1,000 cheaper. Do you want to know why? Because the GDP Win 5 doesn't have an Xbox logo. And that's what hurts your feelings. And that's weird. You need therapy. No, you do. You do. You need therapy. You need hymns. You need something. Hey, yo, shout out to hymns. Hey, dog, my sponsorship. I'm going to keep saying every video. Somebody bound to give me a sponsorship. Why would they not? Why would they not? I probably won't be good at it, though. I'm not going to lie. Anyways, I don't know. I just want to talk to you guys this morning before I take my pre-workout. Hit the gym. I got to do back today. I like back, though, so I'm not mad. And then I got to run. I'm contemplating whether I'm going to run a mile today or if I'm going to do 2 miles. I never start out running saying that I want to do 2 miles. Never. It's usually while I'm running, I'll be like, how much did I run this week? I should probably do 2 miles. But it is what it is. And I have to. I got bad metabolism, man. It is what it is. Plus, I'm 40, so that's pretty what it is. It's bad metabolism. Plus, I'm old. Oof. It's harder, but it is what it is. Why you hate Xbox so much? Like, what Xbox did to you is done. Listen, if you're a PlayStation fan and you're like, I'm being serious right now. If you're a PlayStation fan and you're like, I'm not gonna get into PC gaming because I don't want to deal with all that BS and all that other stuff, whatever. These handheld PCs might be the way for you to go, especially the Steam Deck. And all I'm saying is you'll have what's wrong with having another device where you could play, your games. You'll still use your PlayStation to play your big, beautiful single player games that they're dropping 2 a year or whatever it is that they're doing, right? And then you can have your Steam Deck, when you're actually playing on on the go or whatever. Like trust me, I didn't think I would want handheld gaming either. Trust me, especially since I barely use my Nintendo Switch. I don't even remember the last time I turned on my Nintendo Switch. I'm probably gonna sell my Nintendo Switch. I probably should sell them. I have two of them. I should probably sell them. I have an OLED and I have a light. The last game I beat was like Pokemon, but I didn't think I would care about handheld gaming. I bought the ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme version. I don't even remember why I bought it, but I bought it. I saw it I saw it at Best Buy, and I was like, oh snap! Like it's cool. You know, something new. It looked cool. I knew that Xbox also had, Game Pass on PC and stuff like that. I thought that every single game would be able to play between the Asus ROG Ally and the Xbox Series X via Game Pass, but you can't. You could play other games, but your saves aren't all the same. Like I explained it on Brap's podcast. Shout out to Brap. So this is one thing people don't know. If you have an Xbox Series X, okay, and you have one of these handheld PCs, right? Let's say a game like Assassin's Creed. That's a perfect example. When you launch that game on Game Pass, okay? If you have it on Game Pass, when you launch that game on Game Pass, on your Xbox, you're launching it through Xbox. So the Xbox achievements and all that other stuff and your saves on Xbox, it's on Xbox if you're running it on the console, okay? If you run it on a PC, right? Or on the Xbox Rog Ally X or on the ROG Ally, right? On the handheld, you're running that game through Ubisoft, which is a separate level of achievements, not the same. So sometimes the sames don't even carry over. Some games like Hellblade, you can even go to my profile and check it out right now. If you were to look up, have I beaten Hellblade, the first one, right? If I tell you that I beat Hellblade, the first one, right? Which I did, trust me, I beat it on Twitch and everything. I even streamed it, okay? If you go and you look up my achievements on Xbox, you could run across my Hellblade playthrough on the Xbox, on the Windows app. And if you see that, it'll show that I did not beat Hellblade because I didn't beat that version. I beat the console version of Hellblade. So some games like that are a little quirky, right? So, and that's why I think people get confused. It's like, your games won't transfer over. You mean my saves won't transfer over? Because I still have access to Hellblade, both on the PC and both on the console. But regardless, when I bought my Asus ROG Ally, since you could talk to IsoMotion Gaming, shout out to my dude IsoMotion Gaming, this thing has blown me away. It is probably the most overperforming piece of technology that I have purchased. Gaming wise, for sure. Not even close. Not even close. I can't believe this machine could do at 15 TDP, at 25 TDP, games at 10 TDP. The worst thing about my Asus ROG Ally is the battery life, right? But even then, I'm typically playing XI outlet anyways, so it's perfectly fine. But again, man, I just get yourself a handheld and see. Get yourself a handheld and see. And maybe, you know what? Maybe the handheld for you is the Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe it is. Maybe the handheld for you is a OLED Nintendo Switch. Maybe it is. But for me, now that I'm gaming on PC, come on, man. A PC handheld is the handheld for me. I can literally almost take all my games with. Oh, you know what? Here's another one, right? Here's another one. Max Payne, the very first Max Payne on Steam, okay, does not have cloud saves. Meaning, if I'm playing Max Payne on my desktop PC and then I download Max Payne on my Asus ROG Ally, guess what? If I'm playing on my Asus ROG Ally, it won't transfer those saves over. So I got to start a new version of Max Payne on my Asus ROG Ally. Are you going to tell me that my Asus ROG Ally now is not a handheld PC because I can't play the same games that's on my desktop PC? Oh, you don't want to do this with me. I do this. Why you do this with me? I do this. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, because this video is getting too long, is this. A lot of you think that I'm a grifter, think that I'm a shill, which is weird because I've talked smacked about Xbox. By God, why would you think I'm a shill when I left the Xbox Series X? I literally talk about it. Why you think Phil Spencer hasn't sponsored me? Why you think they don't talk to me? Why do you think that? I don't talk positive about Xbox. I don't. I give them props when they deserve it. And when it comes to Game Pass, I've been consistent this entire generation. Can't nobody say nothing to me. This entire generation, I've been consistent about Game Pass. Have I not? And even then, I even made a video saying I'm leaving Game Pass. And I couldn't leave it. I had to come back. And I made a video. So you need. I know it's hard, but I need you to trust me. When I have this Xbox Rog Ally X, okay, you are going to know that I bought it with my hard-earned money, okay? Thank the Lord Jesus Christ, okay? I bought it with my hard-earned money, okay? The ability that he gave me. I am going to be brutally honest with this thing. The same way I have been brutally honest with my PC gaming experience. I didn't have to tell you guys when I accidentally unplugged the fans from my PC. I didn't have to tell you guys when there was something wrong with the RAMs of my PC. I didn't have to tell you guys that, oh yeah, sometimes the updates are blah, blah, blah. How does that benefit me telling you my struggles that I'm having with PC when I know that you're going to turn around and make fun of me? How does that benefit me? I didn't have to tell you guys when my Walmart PC, when Forza Motorsport was crashing because I was trying to play it at 4K and you guys came in here, called me idiots and everything. I don't have to tell you that. But you know why I do it? Because transparency means a lot. And I want you to know that regardless of whether or not I'm trolling, I'm having fun or whatever the case may be, when it comes down to it, hey, Doc is going to tell me his experience. I don't know the technical jargons and all that other stuff, but I'm going to tell you my experience and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you. So when I have this thing in my hand that I purchased with my money, I'm going to tell you whether or not it's good. And at that point, if this thing is a full-blown scam, trust me, I'm going to tell you it's a full-blown scam. Okay? What hurts me the most is when I see people that have a PS5 Pro that just don't admit it. It's a scam, man. The base PS5 should be the purchase. Doc Dog 1985, there's levels to this. I'm going to leave it at that because they just got mad. We out. Peace.